Hi guys, it is Evergreen Month here at Tpull's Corner. We came out last year with an emphasis on the evergreen terms. Those are the keywords, the vanilla terms that they put on all the cards that Wizards of the Coast invented. So for example, Valentin has Menace and Lifelink. Those are both evergreen terms. We created a Menace deck today to just overload it, show you without a doubt what happens to your opponent when he has to have 2 defenders for every attacker that you have. And I think you'll be happy with the results. But let's go through the deck real quick. We got 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrants as usual for mono black, and 2 Field of Runes. We've got a Blood Fountain, so we can get some creatures back when we lose them. 4 removals, Blood Chief's Thirst. 2 Concealing Curtains that help us to turn into a creature from a 0/4 defender later into a 3/4 menace, and also cause a little discard. 1 Eaten Alive for 1 more type of removal. And Grisly Sigil, this is a Nuka Penna card. It's you choose a target creature or planeswalker. If it was dealt non-combat damage this turn, Grisly Sigil deals 3 damage to it and you gain 3 life. Otherwise, it deals 1 damage to it and you gain 1 life. And it has the new mechanic Casualty 1, where if you cast the spell, you can sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater and you get to copy the spell. So I could do this twice to the same creature or 2 different times to different creatures. I'm not really worried about dealing 3 damage. I'm really worried about swarms like Scoot Swarm. So that's what it's there for. Lash of Malice, target creature gets +2/-2 until end of turn. Ray of Enfeeblement to handle white creatures mostly. But if I get a big powerful creature, I can do -4 for the power as well. 2 copies of Reaper's Talisman. Whenever a crypt creature attacks, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. And whenever it attacks alone, defending player loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. This is, if you put this on a creature with Menace, the Menace has to be blocked by 2 opponent creatures. You got a good enough power, both of those guys are going to die. It's usually worth the trade, especially when you attach it to something like an unwilling ingredient, the frog. I'm really starting to like this guy as a cheap supplement to my black decks, especially looking at using it for some of my future sacrifice decks. Just because you can draw a card and you only lose 1 life for it. So a good card draw replacement basically after you lose the cheap chump blocker up front. Legendary Valentin, Menace, and Lifelink. And whenever the opponent creature an opponent controls dies, you exile it instead, which is awesome. Especially in this environment when they're using blitz cards that come back from the graveyard. So if he's out when they die, they don't come back. So if you're playing black, consider having a copy of Valentin. Blood Sky Berserker, which is why we have so many 1-drops. Because when you cast your second spell each turn, you put 2 +1/+1 counters on them, and it gains Menace until end of turn. So the Menace is not permanent with this one, but it combines quite nicely. 1 Feed the Swarm, hopefully to deal with enchantments. 1 Flunk, another removal. 2 Null Priest of Oblivion. Usually I don't play the kicker cost on this. The matches go fast enough that it's not lasting, right? So if you get it, you tend to play it. 1 Board Wipe for Meat Hook Massacre. And this is the final version of the deck. I started without Meat Hook Massacre and I added it in later. And I added in Hero's Downfall as well later to destroy target creature or planeswalker. Because I had almost no removal. I had the Blood Chief's Thirst, Eaten Alive, Grisly Sigil, Lash of Malice. I had all of the 1-drops, but I didn't have any of that other stuff. We have Shady Traveler, who has Menace in both of his forms. It's a 2/3 Daybound or a 4/4 Nightbound. And 1 copy of Sedmore Witch. She has Menace. Ward, if you want to direct damage her, you have to pay 3 life to get rid of her to target her. And she has Magecraft. When you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you create a pest, as you see to the right. And when that pest dies, you gain 1 life. 1 Blood Crazed Socialite. And doesn't she look happy partying? When she enters the battlefield, you create a blood token. And you can sacrifice that blood token and pump her up to +2/+2, which can be convenient. We have Drider. He's a 4/3 with Reach, and whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you create a 2/1 black spider creature token Menace with Menace and Reach, which is a nice combination. And he's mostly there to help block any flyers like angels with 4 life and that kind of thing. We have 1 Planeswalker, Loth the Spider Queen, because he makes spiders, or sorry, she makes spiders that have Reach and Menace. And Tergrid, God of Fright. We're going to stay away from the Lantern just because Tergrid herself has the Menace, and that's what we're focusing on this time. And finally, our most expensive card, Baleful Beholder. When they enter the battlefield, you choose one. Either each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, or creatures you control gain Menace. So even if Bloodsky Berserker doesn't have Menace, you can give it to him this way if you can't afford to spend enough mana to cast the Beholder and a second spell in the same turn. Usually I'm going to be looking to use Anti-Magic Cone because Feed the Swarm is my only other way to get rid of enchantments, and one good enchantment can ruin your whole day. So that's the deck. I've already played the matches. I think you'll be happy, and we'll show you how the results are at the end. Alright, before I forget, like and subscribe. If you haven't liked a video in a while, do me a favor and just smash that like button real quick. And if you know anybody else who plays Magic that is not tuning in yet, send them a link. Alright, here we go. We'll keep that. Blood Fountain or Concealing Curtains? Blood Fountain. Is this a mirror match? Because it mentions Menace already, and this is my Menace deck? He might have a buff to knock this out. Yep. That's fine. Next. One spell. Two spell. My 1/1 is already a 3/3. I want him to spend money on that. If he spends mana, pop that up to level 2, then I'll use Feed the Swarm on it. Is that 2 creatures that I have in the ground? -4, -1. Sacrifice a creature to exile you. You're going to run out of ammunition before I do. Maybe not. Alright. I was going to use this on the class, but Delina is too dangerous to just leave around. I should have done Valentin first, so she would have been exiled. Let's return Berserker and Concealing Curtains. Attack! Time to equalize the health. One spell. Two spell. Attack! I guess he could have a burn down the house. Never mind. He ran out of gas and he just ran away. Unless you have been very, very careful with your mono red decks, it's kind of hard to construct a mono red deck that wins consistently. In Historic, of course, you can always have those goblins pop off really fast if you get them in the right order. But in the current meta, there's probably only a couple ways to do mono red. I tend to think of red as being the weakest color. I don't know if that's true, but right now in the current meta, I think that red is the weakest. By itself. All the rules get thrown out the window once you start combining colors. Turn one play. Turn two play. Nice. Spell one. Spell two. I still get to attack with everybody. You can foretell a bunch of cards for 1 mana. Have fun with that. Bloodchief's Thirst, of course, right? Makes it something that costs 6 mana now. He feels comfortable attacking? Really? Interesting. Very interesting. Because I can play 2 spells. And I can make my guy 5/5. And you can't block squat. I do not expect you to have a board wipe at this stage. Yeah. We're going to put it on the lowly frog. Okay, that's not the one that's attacking you right now. Any day now. Oh yes, draw more cards by all means. That will save you. Aww. He took away the unwilling ingredient. You could have banished the Reaper's Talisman. Say goodbye to him. You don't have enough blockers, my friend. Two wins in a row. Let's keep going. We keep going till we lose? Menace can be tough at any stage of the game if you're unprepared to sideline two entire creatures for defense. Sometimes you're getting your creatures out just so fast, the threats are coming out so fast, you don't even need to worry about it. By the time they get a Menace creature out, you've got an army facing them. But when your entire army is made up of Menace, and you get any kind of battlefield advantage, it's hard for them to equalize without a board wipe. Lots of cards. Blizzard Brawl, they always have it. See what you got. For 3, you can just bring him back. Morit and Graven Lore. Let's get rid of Morit, I guess. Another Blizzard Brawl. Shoot. Well, now what do I do? Well, it's basically 2 removal cards I had, and they can just hit me for 4 a turn. No way. 3 Blizzard Brawls. That is messed up. It's not much. A 4th Blizzard Brawl. No way. Look at how many cards he has in his deck. And he got all 4 Blizzard Brawls. That's half of his spells. That is unbelievable. $200 cards and they gave you all 4 Blizzard Brawls. And this spell doesn't even do enough. Oh wait. -4. I can do that. I'm still alive. A bubble snare. How did you get all those cheap cards? That's it. That's all I can do. I'd say good game, but that was not a good game. 4 Blizzard Brawls in 4 turns, basically. And with so many extra cards, I want to find somebody who can do the calculations on what are the odds of getting all 4 of the same type within your opening hand or the first 8 draws. What is he waiting to think about? I can only block 1 creature. Yeah. That's game. Okay, yes. This hand does lose to 4 Blizzard Brawls in a row. Alright. Interesting. Alright. We don't have too many expensive cards in this deck, but we got 2 of the more expensive ones already. At last, he makes a move. He's alive. Okay, it's the second turn. It's very complicated. He might cast a spell. He does! He casts a spell. It's miraculous. Okay, turn 3. If he has a land, I would play a land. That's what I would do for turn 3. He's a smarty boy, so I bet you he knows what to do. He's got 7 cards. He does. He plays a land. He could have destroyed my Hive of the Eye Tyrant, though. We'll see if that becomes a factor later on in the game. Two spells. Berserker is triggered. He takes it. You know, when I play a Starnheim Courser, I'm usually up to shenanigans. I wonder what he's up to. Berserker goes in for 3 points again. Enemy takes it again. Still only down to 17 health. It's going to take forever at this rate. He's pumping up his flyer. Oh, the wait is killing me. All the suspense. He goes for it. Alright, he's either got some extra spell or he's willing to die. Okay, he was willing to give him up. Interesting. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. See, black does have a way of dealing with enchantments. You could get rid of this guy instead. It's your choice. He took all of that damage. Well, he's got a lifelinker. But he needs to remove my Baleful Beholder before his lifelinker can get some good hits in on me. What is he trying to cast? Oh, Borrowed Time. That would get rid of my Beholder, wouldn't it? I don't have a second one to get rid of that enchantment. Is he changing? Is he trying to figure out which one to do it on? Oh, just which one he was going to buff up. That was your choice, huh? Yeah, I have a Baleful Beholder. Okay, you only take one. And you did not destroy this land here. Oh, hang on. Decline. I want to pay for him. That's what I want. Then we attack. You can survive if you block the Baleful Beholder, but then you can't block anybody else. Smarty Boy needs some extra time to think about his move. We will let you have it. This is a fairly quick deck, but you saw we got, we had a number of creatures that were more expensive, right? There's my 5 count, there's my 6 count. So we got, you know, 3 into 3 into 6 and a 5. And only a, you know, we had Valentin was a 1-drop and Bloodsky Berserker was a 2-drop. That was it. So as much as this could be considered a cheap Swarm deck, you know, we won with this by just doing curved out monsters. Wasn't really a cheap Swarm attack that time. Since we're playing mono black, we have a weakness against artifacts. So we'll see how that plays out. We have no Berserkers, so we'll go ahead and play the Blood Fountain now. Find out if we're up against counter spells or not. No, which means we're up against Blizzard Brawls instead, right? First blood is mine. Now the last match we won because our opponent had this Boziju who endures and he didn't discard it to destroy a non-basic land. So this could be a problem again for him, not for me. Could help me win the game. Because we did, as our last act, we did activate Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Oh, never mind. He did not like whatever was going on there. We had one creature, that was it. You're going to give up with just one little 2/1 creature hitting you? That's a little weak. If you can handle a creature with a toughness of 1 hitting you, you're going to be in trouble in this game. Well, it's possible that he wasn't getting any more land. Sometimes Magic does that to you. It's happened to me a lot. Every now and then you're on the other side of that. Okay, that was fast. We'll go do another one. We have no Berserker again. I might not have an opponent. They might have stepped away. So we only have one creature in here that can destroy enchantments. So we're weak against artifacts and enchantments as mono black, as is traditional. There is a new card from Kamigawa that can make you exile an enchantment, so we could stock up on that. Might not be a bad idea considering the environment with all these artifacts running around from Kamigawa. Got some new vehicles and new Capenna. We never really want to wait on Valentin because we have 3 copies. So he's a legendary creature. We can only have one of them out at a time, so we play him whenever we have him. We don't mind if we lose him because we know we have more. But this guy could have a board wipe, so we're gonna hold on to our frogs for a minute and see what he's gonna do. A Cinderclasm or a board wipe could take care of everything. Okay, he can't block Valentin. This is probably the equipment deck, which means artifacts, which means we could be in big trouble. I rest my case. He did 6 points of damage in one turn. We can only do 4 in return. But we do have lifelink. And we have blockers. Bruno Battlehammer! If he's smart, he'd leave 2 as defenders and just attack with the Core Blade Master. I don't want to say that too loudly. He might hear me. Yes, attack with both. He's tapped out, so he can't use Arnie's power to help him undo the 1+. Alright, what do we want to do? We can't kill everybody, but we can put down Concealing Curtains, and we can kill the Blade Master. And we can attack with all of these who all have haste. And I don't think you can stop me now. No matter what you do next. Unless he has a rune that gives him lifelink. And another core wire that gives him double strike. No, he'd need 3 to equip that. If he had another one, he could spend 2. Let's see what we got coming up. Didn't have enough. All you did was lay down. That was the wrong play. Was that only you could do? That was the wrong play. Oh, he's got trample. Yeah, but you don't have double strike. And he doesn't have trample. It's not enough. I was going to say good game. He left before I could. Alright, a couple more wins. Deck's working out nicely. Alright, so you can kind of see what happens when we have Menace on a creature, and then we change it from a Menace on one creature to having Menace on just about every single creature in the deck. And let me go ahead and show you how we did on the Untapped. Let's see if I can move this correctly. There we go. 63% win rate on the play. On the draw, we won 63% of the time. And we faced a bunch of different colors. In the latest version that I did, I added one board wipe, Meathook Massacre, and it's got one creature, Black Boom Rogue. And you can kind of see how I started with all this. I didn't have much in the way of removal. So this is what I tend to do with my personal deck construction, is I start with my concept. I had Morkrut Behemoth, and I thought he wasn't quite a good fit for this deck. Not for an all-Menace deck. So I replaced him with Flunk. And then I had 2 copies of Baleful Beholder. He was really expensive, so I went down to 1 copy of that and put in Hero's Downfall, so I could remove something like a 6-cost Baleful Beholder for only 3 mana. So that's 2 removals that I put in. And then finally I put in 1 more board wipe for a 3rd removal, removing a 3rd creature. So that's all the changes that I made to the deck. And we did pretty good. So if you want to have fun with Menace, copy the deck, play it out. Let me know if you do. Put down in the comments what you might do different. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will continue on with a new deck next time. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one.